And so this company basically started out of a guy's basement. It's a Canadian company, so we have cultural differences with Silicon Valley because we start companies in basements, not garages, because it's too damn cold. So we started the company in the basement, and we very quickly put what I call a ridiculously small amount of money into the company, 4 million Canadian dollars, and in a very short period of time, and the company was selling almost exclusively to utilities. BC Hydro, all the big US utilities, companies called RuggedCom, and we took the company from literally 2 or 3 employees to 150 over a 3 or 4 year period. Took it public on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Today the market cap is $250 million. It is has 18 consecutive record quarters of growth. 18 selling to utilities. So I mean that's got to be a sign, and it took 4 million and it ramped up in a fairly short period of time. So I think there are not a lot of examples that you can point to and say, boy, you can make a ton of capital, and that Web 2.0 model can also apply because it's really, I call it capital velocity or capital efficient, where you can go in and you can become highly profitable. I mean, 60% plus margins. It's really exciting stuff, and so it can happen, and that's changing. That's just a start. That's just the communication backbone of what's required to get to a self-healing, real-time intelligent grid, which incorporates the technologies that are sitting to the left and right of me, and also working with the big utilities.
So are there enough VCs looking into this space, and is
what
do you think?
I'm happy that my fund, we're looking at technologies, and of course, but it's important that people understand it, and the stimulus package has put a lot of attention onto it. And there's been discussions about, look, you need business models that work and you can get to profitability, but look, if they're handing out cookies, take cookies. In fact, take 2 cookies. So run after that money, get the money, help kickstart it, but at the end of the day, the companies have to be self-sustaining and sustainable in their own business models, and I think I really think there's a phenomenal opportunity in various technologies across this whole area, and I'm just so excited.
Bill, Eric, do you think the stimulus package is going to change your financial budget and projection for the next 3 years?
It's going to give us more confidence in the forecast, but you need to be real careful in the energy business. It moves at a pace. Your bigger worry is the things that you've invested time and energy for that make good sense run into a snag. And so I would say the people that actually have a positive return, we've got companies that are trying to avoid $1 billion coal plant, for instance, that we line up against. We say that's a solid part of our forecast. Those that are still kicking tires and not so sure but may want to use the funds, I'm not so certain that they're going to be able to get to use the funds within the 2-year time frame the funds are available.
I think that's right. I think there's a timing issue. One of the things that we've talked, and I'm sure Bill and his team have talked about in Washington, is for an investor-owned utility that maybe has been sitting on the sidelines to say, hey, I'd like to get some of that stimulus money. Given that they have to go through a state-level regulatory process as well, and the normal ramp-ups and immigration times, it puts a lot of pressure just on compacting the time frame. But I think maybe more importantly, I think there will be benefit. I think it's raised the awareness, as people have said, and that any money that does come into the market is probably just going to help prime the pump and accelerate a little bit. I think it's really important when you're looking at smart grid to know that this federal money is not an underlying kind of ethanol-based subsidy where it just doesn't make sense and we got to write a big check to make it make sense. We're talking about, my favorite new line is it's only $4.5 billion. It's not like it's a lot of money. Because I know the BC Hydro project, of course, I don't think they qualified, although if you can figure that out, that'd be a neat trick to get U.S. stimulus money. But you talked about this project as an $800 million project, give or take. PG&E's project is a $2.4 billion project. When you look at the scale of the dollars we're talking about here, and the way that the rate recovery is going to work, the biggest risk I think we have with the stimulus money is getting it spread effectively and put to use where it's going to jumpstart some programs, because we could eat $4.5 billion in a week.